when you do the work, you put in all this work and all this time, and then it's the third album.
Yeah, isn't that the classic
Slippery When
story?
Wet that explodes.
Yeah,
And I
for
remember this
anybody.
really clearly because it blew up just as my comedy career. I really get started in '86, right around the time. And so I'm hearing that on the radio. And when I watched this, I had a real connection with, things started to were just starting to happen for me as you and your band were becoming kings of the world. But what really struck me about that whole part of your life is now I see how much work went in before that.
Sure.
At the time, it just looked like, well, these guys
Yeah.
hit it big, and this John Bon Jovi guy just lucked out, and now all the women in the world want to be with him. And now I see that it was this relentless struggle for, what must have seemed to you like a long time before it finally hit. But then you're ready for it.
At every level of success, when you're playing a block dance, you think you're the king of the world. I mean, just anytime you stepped on the stage, I'm sure you were happy to be in front of 30 people going, I'm the king of the world. I'm Conan O'Brien now. Yeah. And then all the way up that ladder.
If it was just 30 people, no. I was, and this was a problem for much of my career. I would scream at the crowd, why aren't there more? Why aren't there more? And then people would just leave, kind of bummed. That was a real roadblock for me. But no, but it felt like when that finally hit, and then you're playing stadiums, you're ready because you've done the work.
You can do it over and over if you've got some chops by then, sure. But every step along the way, I swear to you, if I played a block dance, I thought that we had made it. You played the Fast Lane, which was the place in Asbury where original bands played. And that was my home club, which is no longer there, tore it down. But I thought we made it because we played there. In every way, getting a record deal, or being opening act, opening for somebody at the Garden, you thought that was it, all the way up the ladder. And to this day, I don't think I've ever achieved the top of the ladder yet. Every day you want to do better, not more, just you want to do better.
It's funny because that kind of intensity can be tough on people around you. If you have that, it's not good enough, or I think I could do better. I have a little bit of a negative voice in my head that's always saying, okay, that was all right, but other people are saying that was really good. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. And people check me on it all the time, and I realize it's not always fun to be around. No. But that's part of what it is.
Yeah, I've learned to be more comfortable and stuff around everybody and open to being vulnerable. I certainly will express to any and everybody, I'm hurting. I could use the help, guys, and everybody's very supportive of that. But I won't accept mediocrity if I want it to be the best it can possibly be. I can't do anything else.
I think that the part that is mind-boggling to me is that if you're playing an instrument, if you're playing the keyboards, if you're the bass player, and you keep your chops up, you can play that in a stadium, but you have to put the song across vocally.
Yeah.
And that's something where you start to run into, you're fighting Mother Nature at a certain point, which you show very honestly in the documentary, how hard you have to work. At one point you have, lasers treating your throat to kind of take the inflammation down, and the amount of work, the amount of vocal training you have to do, that you didn't have to do when you were 18, 25, 30.
40 or 50.
Yeah.
But it caught up. Again, it's something that I work at every day. So I enjoy it too, though. I like doing it. It's just sort of what I do, I guess, at this point. It's just ingrained in me. I don't know what I would do if I didn't do it. Not on the stage, not in the spotlight, but just singing and playing and writing. It's not generated or motivated by the spotlight or the stage. It really isn't. It isn't.
You have this new single, and Legendary.
Yeah.
And I heard it today and loved it, but I was thinking to myself, how do you, at this point in your life, do you walk around and play it for people on a guitar and say, what do you think of this? Do you have people you go to? Do you have, that you bounce it off of, who you think are going to be honest with you?
Yeah, but...
Because I don't. No one will say, people just tell me, I just want to get paid.
Just tell you what they...
Yeah, this is what gets me paid today.
Exactly.
And I say, just tell me it's great. And they say it's great. And
it's great.
And then it sucks. And that's worked for me for years. But I would think at this point...
As long as I care enough. Look, our last album was called 2020, and I put it into this black hole called COVID, and came out right. I couldn't promote it in any way. I couldn't tour it. It was a very topical record. It wasn't an upbeat record. I'm writing songs about George Floyd and about COVID and about gun violence, and my audience was like, "Cool, no hits. Why?" And I go, "Well, it's depressing songs, about the mood
Things
of the
that are
world
really
at that
happening."
time.
Yeah.
But here's the diary of my life at that time. And so, you write these songs, and I'm very, very proud of the record. Now I'm in a better mood, so we can go out. We can, and I don't have to sit home and drink. I can go out, and so,
I prefer to drink at home.
Yeah, I got
alone.
good at that.
And I'll tell you, people say that's not good, but
no, it's really good.
You should try it.
You don't have to share any.
You don't have to share. The whole bottle's yours. And you have all these great ideas, and you start yelling. You write them down, and then in the morning they just look like gibberish. No, but I it's funny because I get to talk to so many people whose work I admire and who've achieved these great things. And what you're saying resonates exactly with what Neil Young told me not too long ago on this podcast, which is he told me that this is whatever's happening to me right now. It's not my business whether or not it's a big commercial thing or not. You can have hits, not have hits, but what you're giving people is what is available to you and to them at that time.
That's all that mattered. Otherwise, you're going to write the Macarena.
Yeah.
If you're chasing hits, you're going to write the Macarena. I mean, what a
I forgot about the Macarena.
great song. No. But
this guy's doing it. There's a guy in the front row doing it. Or he's having some kind of attack. I think he's off his meds.
You know what I mean? You're going to chase hits. Yuck. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be interested.